We've all been there, mate. 1 minute, you're on a leisurely stroll through the woods, enjoying the fresh air and sunshine, and the next, you're utterly disoriented, lost in a maze of trees with the sun sinking lower in the sky. The feeling of isolation can be crippling, but panic won't save you. Survival in the wild is about keeping a cool head and remembering your training. Today, we're going to equip you with the skills to survive, to push back against the grip of the wilderness and make it home. Imagine being lost in the forest with no help in sight. What would you do? It's not about brute strength, but about knowledge, about understanding the delicate balance of nature and using it to your advantage. So strap in, because we're about to embark on a crash course in wilderness survival. We'll cover everything from finding clean water and building a shelter to signaling for help and procuring food. Remember, the wilderness can be a harsh and unforgiving teacher, but with the right knowledge, you can turn the odds in your favor. Right, the first order of business is finding a clean water source. Because let's face it, no one wants to drink from a puddle unless you're a dog. Dehydration can set in quickly and sap your strength. And trust me, you don't want to be the one who faints while trying to look cool in the wild. Remember, we can survive weeks without food, but only days without water. So, unless you're planning to become a cactus, let's find some H2O. Start by looking for signs of water, animal tracks converging, lush vegetation, or the lay of the land. Water flows downhill, so follow any slopes or gullies. Think of yourself as a water detective. If you find a stream or creek, that's a godsend. It's like finding a hidden treasure, but wetter. But never assume it's safe to drink directly. Unless you enjoy playing Russian roulette with bacteria, we need to purify it. Because let's be honest, no one wants a side of parasites with their drink. Boiling is your best bet if you can manage it. It's like giving those germs a hot bath, they won't survive. A rolling boil for a minute will kill off most nasty bugs. Consider it a spa day for your water. No fire yet? No problem. We can still MacGyver our way to clean water. We can improvise a water filter using a cut plastic bottle, layering charcoal, cloth, sand and gravel. It's like making a water cocktail minus the fun. This will help remove sediment and some impurities. Think of it as giving your water a makeover. Remember, even after filtering, it's wise to boil if possible. Better safe than sorry, right? We're going for maximum safety in this situation. Because nothing ruins a survival trip like a stomach bug. And keep an eye out for rainwater collection opportunities. It's like nature's free refill. A tarp strung between trees can create a surprisingly effective water collector. Who knew camping gear could be so versatile? Finding and purifying water on day one can make all the difference. It's the difference between feeling like a champ or a chump. It dictates your energy levels and your ability to tackle the next challenges. So drink up and get ready for the adventure ahead. Exposure is a silent killer in the wild. The elements can drain your body heat and leave you vulnerable. A shelter is non-negotiable. The simplest shelter is a lean-to. Find a fallen log or a large rock and lean branches against it at a 45-degree angle. Cover this frame with leaves, ferns, or even your emergency blanket. If you have a tarp, even better. String it up between trees, creating an A-frame or a simple roof. Make sure to anchor it securely. We don't want the wind ripping it away. Insulation is key. A thick layer of leaves or pine needles inside your shelter will trap heat and create a barrier against the cold ground. Don't forget about location. Seek higher ground to avoid potential flooding and stay away from areas with dead trees or branches that could fall in the wind. And remember, your shelter doesn't need to win any awards, it just needs to offer protection from the elements. A good night's sleep in a dry, relatively warm shelter can make all the difference in your morale and your ability to think clearly in a stressful situation. Fire. It's more than just warmth. It's a beacon of hope, a morale booster, and essential for purifying water and cooking food. We'll start with the basics, gathering tinder, kindling, and fuel. Tinder needs to ignite easily from a spark. Think dry grass, birch bark, or cotton balls coated in petroleum jelly. Kindling will catch from the tinder and build the flame. Look for small, dry twigs and branches, gradually increasing in size. Fuel will keep your fire going strong. Choose larger pieces of dry wood. Now, for the spark. A lighter is ideal, but if not, a fire starter or even the battery from your phone and some steel wool can work wonders. create a tinder nest and build your kindling around it in a teepee shape. Once the kindling is burning well, gradually add fuel. Finding a dry, sheltered spot for your fire is crucial, especially in wet conditions. A rock overhang or a dense tree canopy can provide some protection. Remember, fire demands respect. Clear the area around your fire pit and never leave it unattended. Food might not be the top priority in a survival situation, but replenishing your energy is crucial. The forest offers a surprising bounty if you know where to look. Edible plants are often your most accessible source of sustenance. Familiarize yourself with common edible plants in your area before venturing out. Berries are a good place to start. Look for familiar berries like blackberries, raspberries, or strawberries, but remember, if you're unsure, don't eat it. Many edible plants grow low to the ground, like dandelion, plantain, and clover. These can provide valuable nutrients. Insects are another readily available source of protein. Grasshoppers, crickets, and ants can be eaten raw or cooked. Look for them under rocks and logs. If you're skilled with traps or snares, you might try catching small game like rabbits or squirrels. But remember, hunting and trapping take practice and skill. Always err on the side of caution when foraging. If you can't positively identify a plant or insect, don't eat it. Remember, your goal is to find sustenance without taking unnecessary risks. While mastering these survival skills is essential, your ultimate goal is to get rescued. Signaling effectively can dramatically increase your chances of being found. The key is to make yourself as visible as possible. A signal fire is one of the most effective methods. Create a dense smoke signal during the day by adding green leaves and pine branches to your fire. At night, a bright flame will be visible for miles. Use a mirror or any reflective surface to signal aircraft. Angle the mirror to reflect sunlight towards the aircraft. Even a cell phone screen can work. Create ground-to-air signals using rocks, branches, or brightly colored clothing. Form large geometric shapes like an X or SOS. If you're near a clearing, trample down the vegetation to create a visible contrast from the air. Don't underestimate the power of sound. A whistle blast carries much further than your voice and can attract attention. Remember, consistency is key. Signal regularly, especially during daylight hours when rescue efforts are most likely. By staying visible and signaling strategically, you're increasing your chances of a swift return to civilization. So there you have it, the fundamentals of wilderness survival. Remember, these skills are just the tip of the iceberg. The more you practice, the more confident and prepared you'll become. Remember, staying calm and using these survival tips can make all the difference. The wilderness may test you, but it can also teach you resilience, resourcefulness, and a profound respect for the natural world. Stay safe and be prepared. Your next adventure awaits, and with the right knowledge, you can face it with confidence.